I'm just gonna roll the whole time, and you don't look at me, I'm a ghost.
Okay.
You look right at her, and go ahead.
Used to it.
Okay. All right, so can you state your name and your class?
My name's Krichell White, and I am a second-year medical student in the class of 2021. Can I redo that?
Yes.
You made me laugh.
I did too.
Yes, you did. All right, my name's Krichell White, and I'm a second-year medical student in the class of 2021.
And slow down just a little bit on your answers, but perfect. Okay. So, Krichell, can you tell us a little bit about your likes about active learning sessions?
So some of the things that I like about active learning sessions is that it allows me to collaborate with my peers. So being able to like talk through answers and talk through questions is really great quality. That's kind of the one main takeaway I've gotten from them.
Okay. What would encourage you to attend active learning sessions more?
I think if it was more application based. So, oh, I'm sorry. Yes, so something that would make me go to more active learning sessions would be if it was something that allowed me to apply material that we previously learned. So I like to be able to like test myself on lectures that we previously had. So being able to incorporate questions and that type of thing into sessions would be really nice, and having sessions completely dedicated to just application would be really nice.
Do you think that active learning sessions, how they currently are more geared towards a specific learning style?
Yeah, hold on, let me think of the question. So I think that active learning currently is more so geared to individuals that enjoy attending lectures. Sometimes I feel like active learning has just been given a different name for still an in-class lecture. It's not so much as problem solving and applying concepts that we've been taught. It's just kind of sitting in a different classroom and having someone still lecture at us instead of being more of that application base, which is what I'm looking for.
Okay. Can you talk about the types of preparatory materials that have helped you with active learning sessions, or ones that you think could have been more beneficial?
Yeah, so prep materials that I found helpful for active learning sessions are definitely basically like a summary of the lecture that we're going to be going over. When we've been supplied articles and ILMs, I'm not a big person that'll watch ILMs, and I'm not a big person that will read articles. So as long as it's kind of based off of the lecture that we're going over and maybe just a refresher over what we're going to be applying, that would be really beneficial.
Can you talk a little bit about the styles of active learning sessions that are that you like more than others?
Styles of active learning sessions that I like more than others. I definitely like when we do problem set active learning. I think that those are very beneficial. Obviously, we all like to answer questions, so having that available is super beneficial. Also, just because we get to hear how the lecturer or block director would work through that question and how our peers would work through that question. It's really thought-provoking, and I enjoy that. I also enjoy when we're given cases and we work through the cases and we see how we would apply what we previously learned to different aspects of that case. Sessions that I have found less enjoyable or beneficial would be ones that were just kind of being lectured at and there's really no application, or it's sessions that have incorporated material that we haven't been taught because the entire reason we go is to apply what we've learned. And so in some sessions, we're not able to apply what we've learned because the lecturer has decided to add different material. And so that's kind of frustrating because we're sitting there trying to work through a case and then realize that we don't know the answer because we haven't learned it yet.
Great. So kind of going off of that a little bit, so active learning sessions are used obviously as an application to knowledge that was previously learned. Mm-hmm. Do you think it's still appropriate for faculty to present new material, so as long as it's relevant? Not an abundance of new material, but what do you think about that?
So I think faculty including new material to active learning sessions is great, but I also think that sometimes they include new material based off of their clinical understanding, and we don't have that clinical understanding yet. So as long as there's an explanation to go with that new material, I think that's super beneficial and great. But sometimes they will give us an example of something we've never seen and describe the example to us, but because we've never seen it, it doesn't really help us.
Great. Is there anything else that you haven't mentioned already that you think would be nice for, so the audience for this will be faculty members, staff members, both on and off campus?
Great. Something that I think beneficial would be to look at 2 really great active learning sessions that we had this past year and the previous year. Dr. Nigaman did a really great session with EKGs that allowed us to work through different EKGs and then also apply how we would treat those abnormalities. And I thought that was great because it was 2-step learning and it wasn't just a question set, but we still got to work through all of those cases. Another great one was Dr. Fisher did one where we did a review of anatomy and then went through how that correlates to different imaging modalities and what that would look like on X-ray, CT, MRI. And so it was a really great way to kind of put everything together and then to test ourselves in that session. And to have the expert be there to kind of walk us through it was excellent. So I thought that those 2 were ones that really utilized more of the lecture and application model, but still allowed us to critically think and answer questions.
Great. That's all I got.
All right, that's easy, right?
Easy peasy.